about this withholding tax. Let me just open.
Actually, Rahul, this is the last topic, like which I feel is the base. Right now, we are working in ECC, and at the end of the year, we'll be migrating from ECC to S4. And
Okay.
for our client, like we have 60 to 70% custom things. So how?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. This is the next challenge which I have like Googled, and I came to know if it is more custom, then there will be issue while migrating, because S4 is more about standard things.
Mm-hmm.
So how can
So
we, like, the approach should be, and how can we do that?
one second. Let me just quickly stop sharing. I'll just bring some data and I'll show you.
Okay. Oh, my point is, like, in the last session, last topic is there, no? So like, because those things are like base for us for migration. So if you can gather those data and like help us in understanding those things, it would be great.
See, obvious, uh, doing real time and understanding theoretically, these two topics are very, very different. We all know, right? It's the
Right.
fact. So when we talk about like first we check from the code perspective. So Unicode, it should be Unicode compliant. Okay. So like wherever we have the select query, okay, select query, it should have like, if it is like we are able to get more than one data. So what are the prerequisite things? Just let me just quickly throw some light on that. These are the nodes, okay, which you can refer to. So open first node to do the reconciliation. What is this? First to do the reconciliation. Okay. So is for HANA conversion. Is the date between the tables? Yes or no? Okay. Then like we generate some tables once we do the migration. So before migration, there is some technical activities where we generate some table, and automatically some tables will get converted to your uh, to like compatibility views. Like, as I mentioned, the index table, the total tables. Now what will come after your S4HANA migration? Isidoka will come in picture, right? So at this moment, if you go and check in your system, you won't find it. When there has to have one. Uh, so third point is, as I mentioned, the difference between, I'll maybe take up the asset system later. Let me first take you through these notes. Okay. So simply, you wanted to convert your ERP on Sultan HANA. So this was the previous step. But I guess you are not using SOH HANA. You are directly moving from ERP to S4. So first and foremost criteria is like converting your index table into uh, views. Convert index table, total tables in views, and HCDOCA should be available. Second point, when we talk about data migration, okay, so data should be, the first criteria is data should be consistent in all the tables. All the tables. How do you check the consistency of data? So you can refer to this note. So the reconciliation prior to S4HANA conversion. You want to convert your ERP filter HANA system to S/4HANA. So I'll just take you through this note. But before that, let me just tell you one more thing. Okay. Suppose this is one part, third part is your program. How would you take care? So it's wherever we have the integration. Integration means integration with bank and all. Okay. The way it works in ECC, it doesn't work in the same way. It does not allow in the same way. So like your interface team, okay, you don't have to bother about interface team will apply a couple of certificate. Okay. Certificate means after applying certificate, maybe you would be able to you would be able to use the particular tool. Like if you talk about PIPO, CPI, the tool was PI. Earlier, the tool was PI. Okay, for this kind of SAP PI, SAP PO. Have you heard about it?
Yes, PI interface.
Process orchestration, process integration. Okay, SAP PO. I just go and search in Google, and that PI is gone. Okay,
Right. Like right now we are using CPI, APIM, all those stuff also, along with PI.
CPI is cloud version, huh? Don't get confused. CPI is altogether different thing. Okay. See, once you work on cloud implementation things, so you would find many things already configured. Okay, you can just copy and means there is minimum chances of doing some kind of configuration and all. Mostly, this stream is gone for you. Okay, this GUI is completely gone in your cloud version. Okay, let me show you cloud related. I'm just jumping from here in there. SAP cloud version. SAP cloud version implementation. In the cloud version, you find the like J56. This kind of IDs is what it's called. Activation of like I'm not been able to tell you is whatever application you wanted to use in cloud version that has the some ID. What ID that is called? Like J56 is your accounts payable. I'll show you something. So it follows the activate methodology. Okay. See, S/4HANA Cloud is different thing, and that cloud implementation is different thing. Okay, that is completely based on cloud. There is now cloud version. Have you heard about it, na? Public cloud version implementation project. Who have heard about it? I'm not getting any. Let me see something we can. You completely access everything, even transport and everything through. Basically, those are called product IDs. Okay. So you need to activate or get the license of those ID. So you need to first identify which all application you wanted to use. Okay. Roles is in the same. But yeah, look and feel wise completely different. The cloud version is all together. Okay, I'm just giving you some light on. Just wanted to reach to that page, like IDs. What are the IDs that you scope IDs? It's called scope IDs. Is having like 1,000 crore of turnover, 2,000 crore of 5,000 crore of turnover. SAP is very expensive, right? So it's application software. So we, whoever is like small companies now they are moving towards this cloud version. Okay, and they activate some scope ID. So basically, your S4 HANA system looks like this way. This is okay cloud version, public cloud version. So like we do the OBYC settings here in S4 HANA system, right? So you want to be having this T code, okay? What you would be having? Integration something is the app name. Okay. So you need to search for that app and go to that app. So OBYC settings, first you select like accounts payable, accounts receivable, then special GL indication. So like you keep selecting from the drop down. So the next option will come, then the GL mapping will come, and there you make the changes. So like options will show first which area, something like kind of which area. So you might have selected like accounts payable. So here the next option will sub area. So you could select like MM logistic, SD logistic, or you could select sub what we can call it special transactions. So special, then in the next screen, special transaction and GL you would be mapping here. The same way what we are doing here, but the way of doing it is different in cloud version or public cloud version. Okay. So in the public cloud version, we have the CPI. CPI means you have ready-made structure available. Okay. So once we are going to use the like FI posting related CPI cloud version. So in that case, like there is a the like standard available format and templates are there in the CPI, and you can use it. And there is minimum chances of making the changes in that. Right? So that is the CPI version. So cloud public interface. So CPI and PO is completely different. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Now coming to the our main agenda, integration ECC. So like PIPO, you apply some certificate so that you can start communicating with the third party. Okay. So earlier it was PI, now they call it PO. So you must ensure like you are able to do the testing. Okay, you don't miss any object which is related to interface. Okay, so this is the main thing. Mostly when we talk about interface things, so there is a ABAP code written in it. Okay, so the previous code will not work. The interface is specific things you will have to change. Second point, wherever you have the select query, you have to be very specific. Now you have to review your select query. And one more transaction I'm missing. If you have any Unicode, like there is a way you can check if the program Unicode compliance or not. Why it checks for Unicode compliance? So this basically checks you select query. So suppose select single. Okay, what is meant by select single? So suppose So you wanted to fetch the text. Okay. So what is happening for this GL code? Okay. For this GL code, it has the text maintained in multiple language. Okay. So in this case, what you could do, you could either add a where clause like language equal to th, okay, or language equal to en, or else what you could do, you could just say select single short text from skt where chart of account equal to YCOA and YCOA. You could just add additional criteria and language is th. When you pass this language equal to th now, see, when you pass the th, right, you are getting just one output, which is required. But if you don't pass the th, what will happen? System will fetch many records and it will pick the first record. Okay. So then this will be the problem. So that's why we need to check code. And org structure. So like what we do in S4HANA system, just I'm giving you some background of it. In S4HANA, we create the team can create the plant separately and we create the company code separately. And later on, we can link these two together. But in cloud version, once if I will the company code creation, then it will be like in like a node display in cloud version. It will be like node display. So once like company code is created, okay, then it will be linked together. Okay, I'm going to, so here it will link and you would double click and click on the create and the second person will create the plan. Then third person will create the sales organization. So see this kind of, screen. So this is linked. You cannot independently miss, there is no separate assignment scripts. Okay. So you are creating the sales organization for which company code. So that point of time it's shows in cloud system. Okay. Just for your information. Now coming to this code Unicode compliance check. So they means you don't check it manually. Yeah. So wherever is the update function, you need to review update code is there now. You need to check that code also. Okay. Some other code which does not work. Okay. Like yeah. So you go to this program. Okay. Okay. This table. Interface Unicode compatibility. Sometimes like RFC doesn't work. Okay. Some interface which was working on some other like using the RFC and all, it does not support. It is possible might not support in S4HANA system. Then to develop a new interface. Okay. So that you develop it and test it. Third party tools are Unicode compatible. So third tools also should be Unicode compatible. Okay. So these are the things which you need to take care of. See here. So this program, UCC, UC check above Unicode scan tool. So once you enter the object name is basically your program name. Okay, and once you execute it, so it will show you if it is only Unicode compliant or not. Okay, so what do you do? Whatever found like this is not Unicode compliant. So what do? You review the code. So it will show you even like which place it is not Unicode. Okay. So if you double click on it, it will take you to that particular line where it is not uncompliant or something sort of. So what you could do, you could just take help of above person, and they will be correcting it. It's not a very big deal, honestly speaking. As we think now, it's going to be very tough and all. Yeah, especially you have to focus on uh, your interface things. Some interface which was supporting in ECC does not support in S/4HANA system. And interface you need to replace with the new interface like PO, something sort of. Okay, maybe some RFC is not may not support bank-to-bank connectivity. Sometimes like to be connectivity which was working earlier may not work at this point of time. So in that case, you need to uh, think for the alternate development of the interface. So interface will develop it. So you need to identify the structure of the current interface and then align with the interface team. So those FS preparation and all those steps would require.
For programs, yes, Rahul, I think so. We can do the code check and we can see like whether it is compatible or not, and accordingly we can change. Similarly, is there any such tool for configuration as well, like, or we need to do in this, like, go in the system and do the configuration?
No configuration. There is pre-activities, post-activities. So
Okay,
pre-activities and post-activities you need to perform. Like for say
we
for
need to perform.
example,
Okay.
yeah, say for example, I'm just giving you some example. There is concept of technical clearing account in SAP. Okay, asset accounting. Okay, let me just open some transactions related to asset accounting. Let's look at the new investment. So in S4HANA, what happens? Like, let me show you. Uh, See here, this tab button is not available in ECC system. What happens in S4HANA system? If I just click on this one, this may not be the correct example. Mm, Let me see if I can something. If this 03. See, so earlier in ECC system, the system was posting the entry like credit vendor and uh, debiting our asset. Okay, but in for HANA system, if I post this entry, okay, let me. I'll show you maybe later on. I'll just let me find other document related to asset. So this is my acquisition. Okay, if I double click on this, yeah. So here you could see instead of crediting the vendor, it is crediting the technical clearing account. Okay. If I just go here to asset accounting, see here, it posts two, like one is showing you syndicatus, means your vendor is credit and your uh, technical clearing account is debit. Here what will happen? So it is generating a second entry for valuation purpose. Okay, so this entry is basically ledger specific. If we have multiple ledgers, then we'll see the balances in two different, but it's having this one currency. Okay, so otherwise it could have showing you in a different ledgers also, in different currencies also. So you could say this is common. 1501 is common. So it's generating additional accounting entries, this two line item, right? Basically, what is happening? One line item, which is this part. This part is basically posting because to show the liability. Okay, you have to make the payment to this vendor. Okay. Then second line item is the asset value. Okay. So it's showing you the asset value, right? This was not the case earlier. So we need to do some basic config. This is the same. Org structure is almost same. If I just navigate through it, this is almost same. No changes in this. Copy reference chart of depreciation. There is some slight changes here. So let's example of 1710 in the previous screen. Okay. So now we used to have in S4HANA system, like one is representing local gap and second one is representing your IFRS. Now there is a concept of like introduction of ledgers. So one depreciation area will represent one target ledger and one accounting principal. Second will represent your this ledger, 12 ledger and IFRS. So like that, on the combination, you could say multiple combinations are there. Why there is like repetitive? So once I will show you the currency now, so there will be two currencies. One will be in code currency and second will be the group currency. So like that, we need to do some additional config and all. So these are that's why this is for pre-activities and post-activities. Okay, so there are so many config now we have to maintain in S4HANA system. This is say for technical clearing account settings. So, which example we something related to I don't remember, maybe A012 or something sort of S12. See here. So we are assigning the technical clearing account here. Okay. Which we don't enter it manually. Automatically this gets picked from this config. So this additional config is there in S4HANA system. So this you have to do manually. You cannot avoid it. Okay. Now one more thing. Posting key. Posting key and so these are some additional things which we post, which we map here. Not this one. This is all same as previous one. Let's just take, for example,
Rahul, one question.
Mhm.
In the technical account, clearing account, so we have assigned the account against chart of depreciation, right?
No. Mapping will be always, this is your chart of account, not chart of depreciation.
Okay. Chart of accounts and this account 15 something for AS12. Can you go to that? But in actual document, it is not fetching the 1501 account. The some other GL is coming, so maybe it is linked to some other part as well after account is linked to chart of accounts.
No, I could not understand your query.
Okay, can you open the asset document which you showed as a example where the technical clearing was getting fetched?
Mm. Sorry, can you just guide me the path? Where do you want me to go?
Yeah, actually the AS03, you just showed one example where in the asset the technical clearing account was getting fetched for the vendor posting. Yes, the example. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So from the chart of accounts, it will call the GL account 1501 for every time for any posting of asset, right?
This is in case of this in case of means obviously this will be always the case whenever you are acquiring externally.
Mm-hmm. And for depreciation and other type of asset postings also it will call, or only for the acquisition?
Okay. Can you just repeat again?
Yeah. So this at this time it is calling for the acquisition, asset acquisition type, the transaction type 100, right? But it will
Yes.
call for other type of postings as well, the asset disposal or other type of transactions.
See, whenever you have whenever is the requirement of technical clearing account, I'll show you all the transaction. Next session is about this asset accounting only.
Okay.
So don't worry about that accounting part. Just for now, just focus. I just shown this one. I do not want to confuse you. I just shown you because these are the additional settings which you need to do. So this cannot be done through any kind of tool. You need to do it manually.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So
Yes.
again, this is about asset accounting. Similarly, in
Mm-hmm.
controlling, we need to now define that business transaction and business transaction. And let me show you the controlling part. So here you require to define new
Mm-hmm.
document type which is called CO. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever there is a secondary posting, it will also post to this document type. So once you post to
Mm-hmm.
this document type, so same you can find it in SEDOCA. Okay. Because secondary posting was
Mm-hmm.
stored in BSEC table and all, right? So now we are
Right.
saying, yeah, and we additionally, we don't separately define our secondary cost elements and all. We now
Mm-hmm.
define it's part of GL now, the primary cost element, or you can say simply the cost element. So if I just go here, so then you need to assign the business transactions. So suppose if
Mm-hmm.
I just click on this one, so here we define the business transactions. Okay, if there is uh, say any assessment, anything, actual settlement. So it will post to the accounting document will be generated with document type CO.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the
Okay.
additional configuration to maintain. I am
Mm.
not seeing path here. So generally,
Mm.
like you would find the path pre-migration activities and post-migration activities
Mm-hmm.
conversion. Yeah. So here basically what happens, simply you don't have to do here pre-migration activities. So
Mm-hmm.
here you have to do the activities related to general ledger. So to go to maintain these settings, okay? Then if this is done related to general ledger customizing, then you do specific to asset accounting, okay? Then once this is done, then controlling related settings, material ledger related settings, house bank related settings. So all those things you need to perform. This is
Mm-hmm.
pre-migration activity. Talk about credit management. So earlier we were using the transaction FP32, not case in S4HANA system. Then here the migration happens, starts happens. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let us take for some time break of some time. Then we will again restart. Okay. I'll show you the
Okay.
each and every path. You go to each and every node and we'll show it. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
We were talking about pre-migration activities. Then, so you need to complete this activity before you start of migration. Okay. So this you need to do it manually. Okay. So if I check now, so you won't find anything. So like check customizing settings prior to migration. So if there will be anything missing now, it will show you. So all fine, all good. Like mm, CFI jail postings are integrated by design in S4. Okay. So this is talking about GL and cost element. Activate company code validation. So this is company code related validations. CO specific all currencies. So this is all CO specific. Account determination for transfer of CO posting into FI. So obsolete, not required. Okay. Jobs. Also, we have to be careful about the jobs. Okay. Define currency settings for migration. So this is the same uh, customizing ledger settings. During the conversion, which rate you wanted to pick. So you basically define here exchange rate aim. Exchange rate type we would be considering the aim for the conversion process. Migrate general ledger customizing. General ledger customizing. Even before starting that, within ECC system itself, so migration of general ledger customizing successful. So you would get the errors if there is any issue in this configuration. Now we do the configuration here, right? The general ledger configuration in financial accounting. So if there will be any issue here now, so you would get some error here. Define settings for ledgers and currency type. So you need to complete this, then it will turn green. Everything. Migrate general ledger customizing now. So everything will turn green once you complete this config correctly. If there will be any error here, so it will give you the error there also. How many ledgers if you wanted to add some additional ledgers, like extension ledger was not there in SAP system and you wanted to add here. So you need to complete all those config. Define accounting principles. So this is all specific for your accounting principle related. So we know how to define we saw it in parallel accounting. Okay, so what we saw here, so same thing whatever is your S4 understanding now, so according to S4 configuration requirement, you need to complete all the configuration. Okay, so like define valuation area. So basically valuation area is related to, so suppose we define valuation area AB for my company code SM12. Okay, so this is related to your forex revaluation. Actually, nothing new here. This is all your old concept. Assigned valuation area to accounting principle. Okay, so we do the mapping here. To do the review here, basically we do the mapping of ledgers and company code with the accounting principle. This is your CO related config. This is mapping of your ledger and accounting principle. So this comes from your these settings. Okay. Ledger and accounting principle with company code mapping, where we do in this config. Ledger and CO version. This is a new config here in S/4HANA system. Okay, so you do the mapping like this. Okay, 1710, say your controlling area, 8000 is your controlling area, then your version is 0, and let's for 0L. Okay, you could have other versions. So version version 0, 30, other versions 40s. So 0 is for legal valuation, 30 is for kind of group valuation, 40 is for profit center valuation. So if this is related to material ledger, otherwise we generally have just the 0 version. Define document types. What I shown you previously, so we define the document type CO. Okay, because every secondary posting is also getting stored in AC Docker. So if I talk about asset accounting, right? So we need to map those, technical clearing account. Check if anything is missing here. So here, this system is giving you the error because new asset accounting is already active here. Okay. Correct now? in this system, new asset accounting is already active. Anything basically, like if there is any, so basically we monitor this display migration log. So if you encounter any error, so what do? You either, if you know the answer, you can fix it yourself, or you can raise the ticket with SAP. So they will guide you how you can proceed further. Adjustment in, this is important, huh? Adjustment in new asset accounting. Adjustment parameter in chart of depreciation. So suppose you have 70/10. No required, okay, for this case. Now in S/4HANA, once we'll see the config of asset accounting, they'll understand this concept, what all things is required to be mapped. Then preparation and migration of controlling. So maintain operating accounts and activate margin analysis. Okay, because in S/4HANA now we have account-based COPA, and basically now they come up with margin analysis concept, right? The old concept of condition-based COPA is gone now. Generally, they don't suggest costing-based COPA. Whoever is using this costing-based COPA, so those companies only uses costing-based COPA plus margin analysis both. Otherwise, we just use the margin analysis. Margin analysis is basically the account-based COPA, the newer version of account-based COPA. Preparation and migration of material ledger. So this is material ledger related config. So if you might have noticed the material ledger related config, we do define the currency type and all. Material ledger profile, then currency type and all. So those settings we need to configure here in S/4HANA system. So if you are familiar with S/4HANA concept, then it will be like we need to activate the material ledger for all your plan code. So valuation area is nothing but your plan code. Then again, house bank related things. So now whenever you create the house bank, it also assigns some technical IDs. Okay, so you need to maintain this technical ID number ranges. Change request. So if there is any workflow, then you need to workflow can be tracked through the change request. So if you are using the full version of cash management, then whenever you make any changes in bank account, whenever you create a new bank account, so it creates the change request. Then in that case, we need to maintain the change request number. Then assign these two things what we just configured now, we do map here 0101 something sort of. You just simply, this is our S/4HANA system. You just like refer 1710 and take snap of each and every step, and you apply in your migration project. That's it. You do the similar config in your migration project. Yeah, it could be little vary because you might be having one ledger in your migration project in real project, and here it will be having multiple fields. Okay, so then you need to understand, at least that level of understanding you should have, which things you have to maintain, which you don't have to maintain. So that's it. So it's saying like there are these many kinds of account type are there in S/4HANA system. So what are the, for each account type, what fields are sensitive fields, which and which all are not sensitive. Define bank statement for each kind of account type. Then you go for kind of mm, so based on these settings now, this is the important settings. Based on these settings, your like once you make any changes in the sensitive fields, so that goes for the, it generates the change request, and that goes for the approval. Define payment approval groups and all. One step, two steps approval. This is related to house bank settings. Yeah, it has nothing to do with S/4HANA. You can just ignore this part. If you have approval based, if you wanted to like activate this workflow things now in S/4HANA system, then you require to do these settings. Otherwise, not required. Switching migration program for HANA. Then this is trade finance, which is treasury, which is treasury. This one is related to credit management. Then you start the data migration. Okay, regenerate CDS. Once you do this CDS views now, all your total table index table gets converted to your what we call it, views, and your AC Doka gets generated here. Like in this system, nothing should happen because everything is in place. Let me stop this connection. So all clear? Able to follow me? So this is activities after migration. Okay, so this is all. Okay, this is all about, and even you can just read through this document. This is very, very important and very informative. So you need to follow this note, go through these notes. What are the functions you need to activate to EFIN? So you need to activate these functions. So likewise, you have functions related to BAM. BAM means bank account management as per your requirement. All right. So in ECC system, you can just run this report, FinCore reconcile. So wherever will be inconsistency, it will be shown in the report. So then after you can run this transaction FinCore display. So you can just review those transactions, FinCore display. So you'll find like Sometimes like what happens, like GL is open managed and later on someone or not managed and somebody manually converted to open managed. So then there will be some data inconsistency. /n theme underscore code underscore display is 12. Let's suppose we are running for 12. So if there will be any error, if we have run in the previous step, it will show you the data here. So we have not run it. So this action we perform in ECC system. If anything data related inconsistency, it will show you. You can just then read through these notes. So it is giving you the steps, telling you the steps, how do you run it, okay? And what are the prerequisites before you run it. And coming to the other notes, so this is very important note. Okay, you can note down the note number. The recommendations in the note are based on practical project experience. Resolution. A number of checks are introduced in the tools for financial data migration to ensure the consistency of the data migrated to SAP S. Errors are reported in various checks tools while processing. So if you start migration now, you encounter a lot of errors. Okay, so you can just keep fixing the errors and keep moving ahead. So like that you can do. So it is telling about the reports, reconcile, then display, then monitor. Monitor will just monitoring the status have been released in these notes. This allowing check and automated correction of typical inconsistencies in your data in SAP ERP system. Before the S/4HANA conversion project. This analyzes database inconsistencies that were found in this one and allows corrections to be made to the discovered errors. List of the correctable errors and information on the correction state used by this. Okay, so you can refer to this note how you can do the corrections. The uh, latest information about the reconciliation test and correction tools is available in this note. The checks use the message class this SAP ERP to report potential data inconsistencies. So this is the message class. Okay, the error you can just refer to message class, maybe is in 91 or 90. And to type of what is getting that here. These are the errors. Balance in basic is not zero and transaction see this. Balance in basic. So these are the possible errors. Okay. Yeah. If there is any archive data in your GL, so you would get these errors. Fence recon. You can also check fence recon. So you can note down this note number. Okay, 214344. and you would find all the information from this table. So when you got what error, from that you can find that. Okay, hence recon 115 this. So make sure SAP Note Itna is implemented to avoid that the error message is sent incorrectly. Check the customizing define source ledger this. So like that you have, like, if you just go up and whatever error is listed in that that message type. So potential perform checks error message. Okay, you get the error message. What is the possible recommendation? This one, potential impact, root cause examples. What is the root cause of this kind of errors? Okay, so suppose in FB recon 115, you got this error. So you see this message list. Okay, so what is the reason and what is the potential solution for this case? So this, I don't think you need to do. Okay, everything you will be able to understand. Custom, definitely you need to work. As you mentioned, that check. Now you need to run that program and check particular which code is having what at which line item. So every detailed information you can find in that particular T code. Once you run, then it checks for Unicode compliance for each and every program. And if it finds anything inconsistent, it will directly take you to that particular line. Okay, this line is having problem. Interface, as I mentioned, interface you have to be careful.
So simply we can have certain connection between ECC to HANA and then directly migrate.
Yes.
Okay.
You first do the pre-migration. These 3 steps you have to follow. Pre-migration activities, then post-migration activities, and data migration. So this is your regenerate series views. The table creation and everything happens in this step. Start monitor and data migration. So this is your data migration tool. Automatically data migration will happen. If there will be any error, it will show you. Okay?
Okay. And how can we provide the object details? Like suppose if you want to move GLs or cost centers. So GL, we have seen like there are different options over here. Will it also move the GL because the options are different from ECC to S/4HANA?
No. It will self take care of it.
Okay.
Will self take care of it. Yeah, definitely. Like you require to create the what we call OBD for GL group. Okay. So for CO secondary cost elements are now also becoming your what we call GL account, right? Of type
Right.
secondary. So that you need to have the number is available, right? Then only it would work. And
Okay. But how can we select the objects? Like I've seen this configuration just now you showed me, but can we select the specific date objects over there?
No. Nothing such things. No such things is required.
Okay. So it's like if suppose I do not want to migrate inactive things, like inactive cost centers, can I stop them? Like, can I put certain checks? Okay, do not migrate the inactive ones.
No, those things we need to check from SAP. Means we don't know the answers for everything, but yeah, for specific things we can raise the OSS ticket. Okay.